Sometimes people ask me, Andrea, how do you truly write to women? How do you use words in a way that women respond? How do you shape sentences so that they do not merely pass through the ear, but settle in the heart? And the truth is that in the beginning was always the Word. And before any man can ever become a master of arms, before he can master the battlefield, the business world, or even the struggle of daily survival, he must first become a master of words. Because nothing in this world is more attractive to a woman than a man of action who also has the ability to master his words, his tone, his language, and his voice. For action without words is silent, and words without action are hollow. But when the two combine, when a man of strength also becomes a man of speech, he becomes unforgettable. And so let us begin with the simple but powerful art of mastering your words so that when you speak, a woman will not only listen but also feel, remember, and respond. Number 1, never beg for attention. Never reduce yourself to a beggar of validation, because the man who begs loses his center. And the truth is, you must always be the center of your own gravity. For the moment you chase, the moment you over-explain yourself, the moment you try desperately to impress, you lower yourself in her eyes. You place yourself beneath her judgment instead of standing in your own frame. And this lowering of self is the opposite of attraction, because attraction is born when she reacts to you, not when you react to her. And you must always remember that she is designed to respond to your energy, your certainty, and your groundedness, not the other way around. So your words must invite rather than plead. They must open doors rather than bang on them. They must project confidence rather than seek mercy. And under no circumstances must you ever ask a woman if she likes you. I repeat, never, because the very act of asking kills the attraction. It shifts the power. It signals insecurity, and insecurity poisons desire. Number 2, write in images, not just information, for plain words do not move a woman. Plain information is quickly forgotten, but images linger, images create memory. Images paint experiences inside her imagination that she cannot shake. And it is this power of images that makes writing to a woman more than communication. It makes it an experience, and so understand this. A statement that paints a vivid picture will stay with her far longer than the simple cliche of "I love you so much," because she has heard those words 1,000 times. But when you give her an image, she carries it with her, she sees it in her mind, and she relives it in her emotions. In my first letter from prison, I understood this truth instinctively, and so instead of writing simple words like "I miss you" or "I love you," I wrote, "Some days are harder than others." But as I watch the fading sunlight this evening, my heart is filled with warmth and joy, knowing you're out there waiting for me. And in those words, she could see the fading light. She could feel the evening. She could imagine me in my solitude, and she could sense the warmth of connection across distance. And this is the power of imagery. It transforms simple words into living memories. And this is what women remember, not the plain word, but the picture that the word creates. Number 3, understand that a woman hears the same compliments over and over. Every man she meets tells her she is beautiful. Every man she meets tells her she is special. And these phrases, though perhaps true, become empty through repetition. And so if you truly want to stand out, you must learn to show her that you see something no one else sees. You must learn to express not the obvious, but the hidden, not the surface, but the depth. Because women love to feel unique. Women love to feel special. Women love to believe that you have discovered in them something invisible to the rest of the world. And to achieve this, you must become an observer, not just a speaker. You must become a listener, not just a performer. You must master the art of paying attention, and this requires discipline. Because to listen deeply, you must silence your own ego. To observe carefully, you must slow down your own impulses. And then once you see, once you hear, you must also master the art of asking the right questions. Because questions are doors. And the number 1 question, the golden question, the question that allows you to step inside the inner world of a woman is simply this: how did this make you feel? Not what happened, not what did you do, but how did you feel? Because this question bypasses her surface responses and goes directly into her emotions, into her soul, into her truth. And once you enter that space, once you understand her feelings, you no longer speak to her ears, you speak to her heart. And when you speak to her heart, your words become unforgettable. Number 4, understand that mystery creates attraction, because a woman does not fall for what she already knows. She falls for what she wants to understand. She falls for the unknown. She falls for the unanswered question. And so listen to this carefully. Women love mystery. And the moment you reveal everything, the moment you show all your cards, the tension is gone, the curiosity is dead, and the desire fades because attraction thrives on tension, on anticipation, on wondering, on longing. And so think of yourself as a book and a woman as the reader, and know that she wants to read you page by page, slowly, savoring the unfolding of your story. And while you must be open and honest, you must also understand that you control the pace. You turn the pages, not her, and it is this slow revelation that creates intrigue, that sustains desire, that makes her want more. Because mystery is not about deception, it is about revelation with timing. It is about unfolding yourself in layers rather than in a flood. It is about letting her earn the next chapter rather than dumping the whole story in the introduction. Number 5, and perhaps most importantly, practice the power of metaphors. For metaphors are more than comparisons. Metaphors are symbols. Metaphors are keys to the soul. And the soul does not understand plain words. It understands symbols. It responds to depth. It feels images. And so if you tell a woman, "I love you so much. You mean everything to me?" Those words may be true, but they are empty. They have been spoken too often. They are lifeless. All energy has been sucked out of them. But when you use a metaphor, when you frame your love as a comparison, when you give her a symbol, you create a fresh sensation. You awaken a new image. You make her feel something again. For example, I once wrote, "Every time I hear your voice, it is almost like the world slows down for a moment." And in that image, she not only hears the words, she feels the experience. She imagines time slowing. She feels the gravity of her impact. And this is the magic of metaphor. It makes the ordinary extraordinary. It transforms tired phrases into living truth. It turns your words into a doorway to her senses. And if you truly want to be heard, if you truly want to be remembered, your words must paint pictures that awaken the senses of sight, sound, touch, and feeling. This entire rule set, this philosophy, this framework of how to write, how to speak, how to move the heart, can be found in the first book of the Grimm series, the first chapter of the Grimm cinematic universe, a story that tells my journey, Andrea's journey, the story of escaping an abusive father, of fleeing Germany, of searching for roots in Rodina in Russia, of discovering that new friends were drug smugglers, of being betrayed by the very path I chose, and of being forced into the gulags of the Soviet Union, where I was broken, stripped of boyhood, and yet reborn into manhood, remade through suffering into sovereignty, through pain into purpose. And when people ask me, "Is this a true story?" I tell them, it is a true metaphor, because whether or not every detail is literal, the meaning is universal. It is the symbol of all our lives. It is the journey of every man and woman, the path from pain, darkness, and confusion towards sovereignty, light, and purpose. And this is what makes it modern mythology. And mythology is not entertainment. Mythology is not fiction. It is the language through which generations are shaped. It is the cultural DNA that guides families, societies, and civilizations. And this is Grimm's mission. This is my mission, to bring cultural change to the world for generations to come. Because nothing impacts generations more powerfully than deep narratives. Nothing shifts destiny more strongly than stories that penetrate the soul. And so if you are on the path of change, if you feel the call to transform, if you are tired of living small, tired of begging, tired of chasing, tired of shallow words and empty phrases, then take a look at Grimm Begins. Take a look at this mythology. Take a look at the mirror it holds up to your own life, and understand that your story too is waiting to be written. And when you finally decide to master your words, when you finally decide to stand in your gravity, when you finally learn to speak with images, to listen with depth, to create mystery, to use metaphors, then you too will discover the truth that when words are mastered, honor will come, and when honor comes, nothing is impossible.